SKYLER Day, Harman. It's the weekend, which means we're tracking showers and storms. Those details straight ahead.
Plus, a Morrisania woman with cerebral palsy says that she'd rather sleep outside than be trapped in her 8th floor apartment. Why she says help never came. And if you're paying for metered parking in New York City, be sure to check twice. The Department of Transportation is warning about a new scam that involves paying for parking with your phone. All of those stories and more coming up right now as News 12 The Bronx starts. Thanks for being with us on this Friday evening here on News 12 The Bronx, where local matters. I'm Amanda BOSSARD. Before we get to those top headlines tonight, we are on Storm Watch once again right as we head into the weekend. So we bring in Storm Watch team meteorologist SKYLER Day Harman with more on when this wet weather arrives after another scorcher of a day too, SKYLER.
Absolutely, Amanda. Another hot and humid day. That's finally going to start to improve for this weekend. But unfortunately, those rain chances for this evening into early parts of the overnight. But then that's going to improve the more we get into the overnight. But that's not the only rain and potential for storms that we're tracking. As we head into the first day of the weekend, we have the chance for some thunderstorms throughout the day and just a general shower chance. Will it be a washout? The answer is no, but there is that repeated chance for some wet weather. Sunday, however, looking to be the better day of the two. So timing some of this out as we head into earliest parts of Saturday, you can see some of those showers working through for a morning round, but then as we head into the afternoon or the evening, we could see that opportunity for some thunderstorms into the afternoon and into the evening. So we'll talk more about that and the rest of the weekend forecast in just a few minutes. Amanda?
SKYLER, thank you. Morrisania residents continue to struggle with a broken elevator inside of their building. We spoke with Michelle Santiago, a resident with cerebral palsy, earlier this week. And when we last saw her, she was hoping to get a transfer to another building so she wouldn't be stuck inside of her 8th floor apartment. Well, that transfer has not gone through, and we're now learning that she chose to sleep outside rather than being trapped inside of her own home. News 12 spoke with management at the building. They say Michelle has declined all of the services they've offered, including escorting her up and down the stairs. And more elevator drama tonight, this time in Norwood, where tenants are demanding action from their building's management company. Their elevators now out of service for more than a week. Some residents are older New Yorkers, some are those living with disabilities. Many now stranded in their apartments because they cannot make it up and down the stairs. A staircase 13 flights high has tenants struggling to get in and out after months of intermittent elevator outages. And a recent change in management, one tenant tells us that her and her neighbors are fed up.
I'm tired of walking up and down them stairs. I had a hip surgery and I have a full hip surgery. So when I'm coming down these stairs and going up them stairs, I hurt so bad. I really do.
We reached out to GRC Management, the building's management company, to find out when elevator service will be restored. We left multiple voicemails and emailed the building's super, and we're still waiting to hear back. If you're paying for metered parking here in New York City, make sure you check twice. The Department of Transportation is warning about a new scam that involves paying for parking with your phone. And News 12's Julia Burns joins us with more and what to look out for. Julia, hope you got this.
Well, Amanda, we've all been there, struggling to find street parking, then rushing to get out of those cars to pay the meter, maybe not even thinking twice about it. But now the New York City Department of Transportation is warning drivers to keep their eye out for a new scam. Now take a look at your screen. They say these QR codes have been placed all over meters throughout the city to trick drivers into paying this way instead of feeding the meter, only to be taken to a third-party website and have their money stolen. The DOT says they're inspecting all meters throughout the city for these scams and sending users in-app warnings to look out for these fake QR codes. We spoke with drivers saying it's something people could easily fall for.
You got to be very careful. You got to pay more attention. Come with the car, you go in a rush. You may not, be so aware, Could easily get, caught up in it.
The DOT reminding drivers the only way to pay is through the app or with a credit card. They're encouraging anyone who sees these fake QR codes to report them immediately. Julia Burns, News 12 The Bronx.
All right, another thing to be on alert for. Julia, thank you so much. Community members gathering to take a stand against a potential expansion of the Cross Bronx Expressway moments before the State Department of Transportation had a meeting scheduled to discuss
that went well.
plans.
Yeah.
They gathered outside of the Bronx River Arts Center, where community members say they do not want more traffic and pollution in their neighborhood.
We're here today with one message for State DOT. Listen to the Bronx and stop the Cross Bronx expansion.
They say infrastructure can't be racist, but the way you plan for that infrastructure, the way you make those decisions, and where you put those infrastructures, that's racist. That can be racist.
We did speak with the spokesperson for the state DOT, who says the highway needs to be rehabilitated. And as for how that's going to happen, a course of action has not yet been decided.
There's no expansion of the Cross Bronx. Exactly what we're going to be adding to the Cross Bronx is going to be a bikeway and a pedestrian pathway. So therefore, bikes and pedestrians will be in harmony and be able to utilize the Cross Bronx to get to where they need to go in order to connect communities.
There will be another public meeting on Saturday at the Bronx River Arts Center from 12 to 2 p.m. Police are now investigating two separate shootings in Morrisania that happened at essentially the same time, just blocks away from each other. It was a busy night for officers at the 42nd Precinct. Two shootings within the span of 2 minutes that were just steps away from one another. Two people hurt in those shootings, one of them a 17-year-old boy. Police say he was shot at the Forest Houses. They were called there at 10:02 last night. Cops say the teen was hit in his right hip and he is stable at this hour. Then cops responded to East 161st Street and St. Anne's Avenue at 10:04. That call just 2 minutes after the Forest Houses one. Cops say they found a 50-year-old man grazed on his arm. He was also rushed to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Police say the two cases are not connected. However, in both incidents, they say that the shooters got away on city bikes. They say this was found at the scene on Trinity Avenue last night. At this time, no arrests have been made, but if you have any information on the cases, police do urge you to call the Crime Stoppers tip line. A young man stepping out of his car gets his chain snatched by two men riding a motorized scooter. And now we're getting a look at that duo. Police say it happened outside of an auto shop on Webster Avenue in Norwood last Monday. We're told the duo threatened the 20-year-old man before taking his chain, valued at $30,000. Back on May 2nd, about 3 weeks before that robbery, we reported that a 68-year-old woman nearly had her purse stolen from her car in that same area. Well, the Mexican Navy ship that struck the Brooklyn Bridge last month is now docked in our borough. The U.S. Coast Guard towed it across the East River this morning from Pier 36 on the Lower East Side to the Brooklyn Navy Yard. Ferry service was disrupted a little bit earlier. The East River was closed for a couple hours between the Manhattan and Williamsburg bridges when that ship was being moved. Well, Bronxites participated in multiple Eid prayers throughout our borough today, marking a tradition known as the Feast of Sacrifice. And you're looking at a Facebook live stream from this morning at the Bronx Muslim Center in Pelham Parkway. Another prayer was also held at the Williamsbridge Oval Park and the North Bronx Islamic Center. More than half of Americans are worried about the Trump administration cutting Medicaid, and that's according to a new poll by a nonpartisan health research group. The poll shows that many Americans believe Trump's budget plan will make health care harder to afford. The package includes a bill to add work requirements for Medicaid and to restrict eligibility. The budget plan is now in the Senate, where changes are expected. Supporters of the cut say they'll reduce waste and spending. Medicaid currently covers more than 71 low-income Americans. If you or someone you know is looking to learn English, the Wakefield Library can help with that. Summer registration now open for English and basic literacy classes. Classes will meet online or in person from July 28th through August 24th. To enroll for an English class at the Allerton, Classen Point, Hunts Point, Mosholu, Parkchester, and Wakefield libraries, you must fill out the lottery form for the Wakefield Library. A little confusing, but just aim for Wakefield. We have a link to that posted on News12.com. As we wrap up yet another work week, we've got some fun events happening in the first weekend of June here in the Boogie Down. So tonight, the Bronx Brewery will be hosting their annual Bronx Creatives Connect. This free event will be from 6 to 8. Attendees will enjoy live music performances showcasing the best of the Boogie Down. And New York Roadrunners is offering a series of open runs. They are free runs and walks at 16 parks across the 5 boroughs. So tomorrow there are 2 runs here in the Bronx, one at Soundview Park and the other at St. Mary's Park. Both start at 9 in the morning. We do switch gears now, as we have a missing teen in our borough that we want to get the word out about tonight. Have you seen 18-year-old Hennessy Almonte? He was last seen around 5 p.m. Thursday at his home on Decatur Avenue in Norwood. If you have any information on this missing teen, please call police.
Planting for Peace. I'm Nadia Galindo in Mott Haven. Coming up, I'll tell you the impact volunteers are hoping these flowers have on gun violence.
Breaking right now, a massive water main break in Bedford Park.
Neighbors say the lack of redevelopment is a reminder of what the community has lost.
News 12 is committed to helping rebuild the Bronx. Join us Tuesday and Thursday mornings as we bring you critical information from home improvements and affordable housing to safer schools, better streets, and more. When revitalizing our Bronx community, we're in it with you. Watch News 12 every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 5 a.m.